You've probably figured out by now that I love a dessert in a jar. So when the universe served up another food holiday that would let me do it, I just couldn't resist. Here's this week's Brittany's Bites. It is National Vanilla Pudding Day. Obviously, so many possibilities when it comes to that, but I'm gonna make one of my favorite desserts. It's pretty southern, banana pudding. And I really grew into loving this as an adult, mostly because we didn't have many bananas around the house growing up because my mom hates bananas. I didn't even think about it, didn't even realize it till I got older. And then when I tasted it, oh my goodness. Now, you can easily make a very easy, simple one where it's just basically layers of your instant pudding, some bananas, and some vanilla wafers. Very, very simple. But you know when you taste it from a restaurant or someone who really does a good job and it's just somehow richer, thicker? There are two main reasons for that. One, cream cheese. Two, sweetened condensed milk. Yeah, not the healthiest dessert ever, but I'm gonna get them in a little smaller portions, so maybe you don't have to feel too guilty about that. I also, as you probably know by now, always love the chance to get out my jelly jars and fill them with some sort of dessert. I promise I'm gonna hold off and go back to some more savory dishes in the coming weeks. Just one more on this special day, Vanilla Pudding Day. So speaking of that, let's get started on it. I'm just getting instant pudding. I'm getting the bigger box here, which is 5.1 ounces, I believe. Yeah. All right, I can never get these open. I have trouble opening all packages. I don't know why. All right, so this is very, very simple to make. You could put it in here, but I've got something else that I'm gonna do there. So I'm just gonna whisk it together. 2 cups of milk. Again, just grab this at the store because it's already measured out for me. Oh, it smells so nice and vanilla-y. I think that's a word. All right, I'm gonna whisk this up for about maybe 5 minutes. It'll pick it up. Actually, I'm gonna whisk it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then in about 5 minutes or so, it'll be set up. But while I'm doing that, I'm gonna get this going over here. So I mentioned we're doing something else with this. Here comes what sets it apart, what makes this really, really good banana pudding. We've got just 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese in there softened. I'm gonna whip that up a little bit, and then to that, I'm going to add this little can of sweetened condensed milk. So I'm gonna get this going. I'm gonna whisk over here. It's gonna be wild in the kitchen for a moment. Okay, we have the cream cheese and the sweetened condensed milk combined, all nice and smooth. We've got the pudding setting up here. Now we're gonna bring them together, all right? So I'm gonna just pour this in here, and we don't need to whisk it up as much as we did before. We just really wanna get them combined. So I'll do that and just whisk it up just a little bit more, and then we'll move on to our next step. Oh my goodness, this looks so good, and it smells great too. There's nothing like the smell of vanilla in the kitchen. I love it. I don't love vanilla perfume or anything, but I love vanilla in the kitchen. Body lotion, all of that. I feel like I smell like a cookie when I wear that, so just not for me. All right, we've got our vanilla pudding here, and just like we did steps to make this, hey, it kind of matches what we're gonna do here. Steps to layer it into the jar, right? So for that, the layers that we have going on, along with our vanilla pudding mixture here, I just have crushed up some vanilla wafers. I thought about keeping them whole too, because a big full one fits right about in the glass, but I wanted to maybe make a thicker layer, so I went ahead and crushed them. You do whatever you want to do. I have some sliced up bananas here. See, it's a little bit healthy, right? We've got fruit going on. But I did actually squeeze just a little bit of lemon juice on top to make sure that they didn't turn brown. But you want to be careful because you don't want to change the flavor too much. And then you can use just the tub of whipped topping that you can get in the freezer section. But of course, you know me, I love to make my own. So before we got started here, I did my own whipped cream. All it is 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Whip it up, here you go. So to make this even just a little bit more decadent as we make our layers, I'm going to reserve a little bit of this for a little topping, but I'm gonna put the rest of this in here. I'm gonna fold it in. So I'm gonna put that there. I think that will be about enough for my little toppings. Okay. All right, just gonna fold this up and then we're gonna get started on the layers. Here's our little jar. You can do this in any kind of dish you want. And to make it easier, if you're serving a crowd, you can do it in a big punch bowl. You can even do it in a 13x9 dish, whatever works. So just going to sprinkle some in the bottom here. Get a little layer of cookies. That looks good. Then, actually, I'm gonna do the bananas. Cookies and bananas. Probably about 4 slices or so, maybe one more. Again, you want to make sure that you can see the layers. Then we'll get some pudding. Really get that in there. Okay, now we're gonna do another layer of the cookies. Just gonna go with my hands. Best kitchen tool there is. That looks pretty good. Some more bananas. And then maybe just enough for one more layer. Ah, that looks beautiful. Okay, so we've got all of our layers. We're ready now for the last step, just the topping. So again, I saved just a little bit for a dollop, just to make it look cute. And then some of your smaller little shavings or your little crumbles, you can do on top. Now, how cute is that? I can't wait to dig into this. All right, these are little mini banana puddings for National Vanilla Pudding Day. Cheers. Well, if you have a picture that you'd like to share of one of my recipes you've made, I love getting those. Feel free to send it in. Or if you have an idea for a future recipe, text it to us at 614-460-3345, or you can find me on social media.